David Allen's first book, Getting Things Done, became sort of a manual for helping individuals to become more productive. Well, David Allen now and Edward Lamont have written a book to help teams do the same thing. Hi, I'm Dave Edwards. I've been chatting with both of them about the concepts in their book, but I was also interested in how their advice actually helped them to write this book. I know that you guys have known each other for some time, but I don't think you've ever collaborated on a book before. So you created your own little team here. So, in creating that team and dividing up the workflow, uh, what did you learn, or what were your takeaways of working together as a team in writing a book?
Well, the book wouldn't exist without the principles in the book. That was kind of a very fun thing that we both created and noticed. Part of it was engineered, and part of it was just kind of noticing. Hey, wow, you know, a lot of the stuff that we're putting in the book is actually just the way that we naturally want to do this together. So there's a bit of a section in the book where we kind of go into, what did we actually do that aligns with all this, because it's not it's the way that humans really want to work with each other. Just, I mean, if you take iterating over time, if you take not over planning, because you can get lost in planning for weeks and months and years. That's not terribly necessary if you know how to collaborate with each other. So it was a really interesting and quite a lovely experience to notice that we were eating our own dog food, as they say.
Yeah. David, was it a successful team operation?
Of course, look what happened. It happened. And frankly, Ed honestly did most of the heavy lifting in terms of most of the text writing and framing out a lot of this stuff. Mine was sort of the IP, the GTD principles, and how do we frame that in terms of the book itself, and how do we do that? But no, we were just constantly back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
Does that work? Does that work? What's better? How do we course correct? Who needs to know this? Who's involved in this? So it was just a matter of transparent communication about all the stuff that we did. So yeah, it was a pretty good demonstration, I guess, of what we're talking about in the book, in terms of how do you get stuff done. And you don't have to be too over constricted and over, context about this. There are a lot of, for instance, I'm dealing with a lot of startups now in Europe that are asking me to speak at their conferences and so forth. And a lot of startups, they don't even know what their purpose is. They don't care. They're just going to fire their belly. They're just going to get going. They only have to then back up and think about that question if they were asked to merge or buy something or be involved in something bigger. Then they have to then back up and think about things at a different level. So all we did in the book was create all the different levels that one might need or should think about if you were trying to do it. Because the whole concept of team means that there's a purpose that you're even get it together. It's a subtle question, but what's their team as a family? What's your team as a parent? What's your purpose? Why are you there? What are you trying to do? So they're simple questions, but very, very subtle stuff that can show up when these things are brought to the fore. And oftentimes you don't need to bring these to the fore until you decide, should we get divorced? Should I, get another partner? Should I, what do we do? So oftentimes these are the hard questions that are only answered by a context of the right questions to ask. And I think that's what Ed and I did, was we created a manual about the right questions to ask, at what time.
Right. I will I mean, I've been a fan of GTD for, decades, and it's really changed my life. And I think that what you both have done is very successfully um, given provided observations about the work environment, which I think would be extremely helpful to anybody who works with, you know, more than just themselves. And so congratulations on the book. I think it's going to be a big help to a lot of people if they take the time to read it and then implement it. So thank you both for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Great stuff. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, thanks for the invitation, Dave. Always. Yeah.
David Allen and Edward Lamont are the authors of Team, Getting Things Done with Others. I talk regularly with David Allen on this channel, and hopefully we'll have more time with Ed as well. Don't miss any of my segments. Please subscribe below. And also, I write a free weekly newsletter on productivity, leadership, and management issues. All you got to do to sign up is go to my website, daveedwardsmedia.com, and click on Contact.